What's the easiest way to get people talking? Get them to talk about something that they know. Hopefully, ask themselves. Welcome back to the Lesson Lab, the show that equips teachers with time saving grading strategies and meaningful lessons that create a lasting impact on teachers and students in the classroom. We scaffold these lessons every week and we run each assignment through the gauntlet and reflection. The Gauntlet is a 5-question checklist that ensures we're creating impactful lessons and saving time when grading. That's what really counts. So, question number 1, why is the assignment important? Number 2, what are the goals, both long-term and short-term? How does it save the teacher time grading? Question number 4, how is it fun? Because if we're not having fun, we're not doing it right. And last question, how long should each assignment last? So the assignment that we're running through the gauntlet today is the All About Me or All About We presentation, which is one of the first things that we do in the communication class, because it is a way to get our students acclimated to presenting in front of people, putting together these outlines, using all of the stuff that we've introduced in the previous episodes with our high fives and our outline. So that is number 1, why it is important. It lays the foundation, tries to get them comfortable, so to speak. And you should be comfortable talking about yourself, hopefully. If not, that's some different kind of work that we can do. Number 2, the goal, again, get people comfortable, check short term. And then long term, I think this is something that I want to say gets them to think about who they are. Right now we're talking big picture. What is the goal for yourself and as an individual outside of just communication class? So I would say that was our long-term goal when we do this presentation. So how does it save teacher time grading? It is very easy. This is one of those participation presentations. I don't have many grades like that, especially when we're talking about major presentations, but this is the first one. And I grade it like this, basically participation, as long as you make time, is because I want them to start off on a high note. I want them to start off in a good place. Everybody's got 100. Hooray. Because to me, the grades is not the important part. The important part is them being able to just do it. Just get up there, kick down the wall. Okay, first presentation done. We're good to go. Now I can really start to put some great things together as far as what we have next. So the grading part, not a big deal to me at all. Participation, have a great start. Okay, 4th question, how do we make it fun? So fun comes from relevant opportunities to create, to share, and then group sizes. So this is where we can flip this assignment a little bit, a couple of different ways. So the questions for the assignment, 3 things you love, 3 things you hate. What do you hope to do after high school? Or if you're teaching college courses like I will be, what do you hope to do in the next year, 2 years? Put however many years you want on it. Is there anything you're really proud of? And then is there anything specific you'd like to learn in this class? So it is very important that they answer all of these questions, and they are fairly straightforward, but it makes it relevant and it gives them an opportunity to create, because there are guidelines. So they don't have to create from nothing. They just have to answer the questions as best as they can. Now, as far as group size and sharing, I do this sometimes in pairs where somebody else will make their own card, because I do these on like a construction paper, and then they swap and then they share. And so from there, as far as the presentation is concerned, I'll actually have somebody share someone else's answers to this. So if it was me talking about me, I'll go, hey, my name is Anthony. Mr. Franklin loves football, basketball, and basically anything sports related. He hates peas, etc., etc. So I introduced this other person. That's just a way to make it more, I would say, challenging, to get more creativity going as far as how you want to talk about this person, help them to build those skills of communicating with other people. And I don't do this digitally because at this point in the course, very early, I'm trying to get people off of their phones, off of the laptops. I want them to start to create those bonds with the people that they're going to be learning with. So suggested group size for this is just 2 people. And I think that it can be, I don't know, depending on the person, it can be more challenging to talk about yourself. And then it could be more challenging to talk about other people because you don't know them. So there are a couple of different ways that you can do this. So that's how I make it fun. You could also do your different ways to make it fun by changing the questions. Also, maybe extending time. This is usually a 1-minute exercise. So many different ways you could go here. The last thing is, how long should this assignment take? So when we're talking about presentations, we're talking about just one piece. So I'll typically give them a day, day and a half to create their poster. And so on the front, they'll decorate it, and I'll tell them to put a quote. So that quote could be something that you made up. It could be something that you hear all the time. It could be something, from your heart, something that you hear from your parents possibly. And then on the back, they just write the answers to their questions. So now they have a visual aid, something that they can hold on to, because, when people get nervous, they start to shake. They don't know what to do with their hands. They fidget. If you have a piece of construction paper, now I have something to hold, right? It kind of takes my mind off of the physical part of not knowing what to do. It also has something really cool on the front, especially if you have people who can draw, who are artistic. Then now you have a front with a quote, and there are some cool pictures. Even if you don't know how to be artistic, even if that's not your wheelhouse, I just say make it colorful and make it neat, fill up the page. Very simple. Anybody can do that. So that should take a day, day and a half. From there, we start to do our practice, where they have to record videos and submit them into our learning management system. If you don't grade people on their practice, then I feel like a lot of times they won't practice. That has been my experience as a high school teacher. So I just implemented this practice, and it has grown the kids, grown my students by leaps and bounds when I made them practice. Because then they will come up to me and go, I'm so glad I practiced that. Or I wish I would have practiced even more than we did. So I definitely saw an uptick in the presentations when I started taking practice for a grade. So that is like the next checkpoint there. First, we have the construction paper that you make, your visual. Then you have the practice. And then we have the presentations. Now, if they're all 1 minute and you have a class of 30 students, I would say, give or take some in-between time, transitioning from one person to the next. This should take 2 days. So you could really get all of this done in about 4 days, 4 or 5 days. Of course, the last thing we would do is reflect. How did you feel about the assignment? If there were some other questions that you could have answered, what would they be? Do you feel like you did your best? What would you do differently, right? You can ask some reflection questions to just get them thinking about their performance. So it doesn't just happen and then it's in the ether, right? I want you to reflect always, always, always. I want you to reflect, look at what you did well, look at what you struggled with, and then get better from there. Because if we're not reflecting, then how are we ever really getting better from what we have done? So that is pretty much the all about me, all about we assignment. And I always do it at the beginning just to get their feet wet again. And I think that there's so many different things that you can do with this and so many different questions that you can ask that the options are limitless. There's so much that you can do. It's always important to help them to feel more comfortable right at the beginning. The faster you can do that, the better. Now, before we get out of here, remember, you can get this assignment along with the previous ones All of these resources are on the Teachers Pay Teachers website. Just search Lesson Lab Tony Rambles. I also run a Facebook group filled with fun, supportive teachers called Teacher Triumphs, where we help teachers through classroom burnout. It is very important to try to continue to build up the community of teachers because it's tough out there. So let's keep the conversation going there. You can also share your own lessons in the Facebook group as well. The links to both of those will be in the description. Until next time, keep teaching, keep learning, and I will see you all in the next one.